Hi, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Ghosts. We do have a fan running in the background, which I shall try to edit out, but it was like 9,000 degrees today.
Oh,
it's
10,
only
000.
10,000? Well, it's only about 1,000 now. So it is cooling, it is cooling off, but the fan is on so that we don't die. Yeah. There's been a bit of a heat wave here in southern Saskatchewan, so... but it is getting better.
Yeah.
Anyway, today we actually found another, I'm going to call it a little gem. I wouldn't say it's perfect by any means, but I quite enjoyed this.
Yeah.
This is a channel called Moxley's Paranormal World. And to be fair, I wasn't wearing my glasses when I first read it, and I read it as Monkey's Paranormal World. And oops, I'm very sorry, Mr. Moxley. Anyway, the episode we saw is his latest, and it's called The Paranormal Activity Here Left Us Terrified. And I'll drop a link to it in the bottom so that you can check it out.
Yeah.
So this fella and his group of friends or whatever, they went to this one site, and it looks like they coordinated with three other groups,
Yeah.
it looks like. So there's a bunch of them at this big old site that used to be a boarding school and a hospital at one time.
And it's
very run down.
Old building, Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah, the Saxons a long time ago built it. So don't know when. Now, this wasn't like a confirmed, a place where you book paranormal visits and stuff. So this was an abandoned building. To their credit, there is no trespassing signs anywhere. There was one sign that says, think, be safe. So obviously people are going in there and they're just hoping people use some common sense and not, walk around all these big holes in the floors and stuff.
Yeah.
But it is very run down. I liked seeing that he walked the perimeter first to check out the building. Now, he'd been there before, he said, but not on this particular side where they were going to go. But he actually walked the perimeter to check for the safest port of entry, I guess, and to make sure it was safe. He pointed out a lot of places where you could see floors, ceilings coming down, stuff like that, and said he wasn't going to go to those spots. And to his word, he didn't. So I was really impressed with that.
Yeah.
They did show a few spots where it looks like different groups have gone in and did different religious or cult-like ceremonies and rituals. There's stuff on the walls. There's a lot of graffiti on the walls, and some of it is kind of interesting. I would say it's probably not safe for children to watch this particular one because of all the horrible graffiti on the walls. Not a lot of language in this one. There was a little bit towards the end when they were starting to all get really excited. But for the most part, it was pretty good.
And when the guy's glasses flew off his head.
That was towards the end when they were all getting excited. Yeah. The camera work in this was pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't one of those professionally done videos with credits and stuff. But he did put stuff up on the screen every so often when it was necessary to explain what they were doing or whatever. So I still don't really know his name other than it's probably Mr. Moxley. And we'll have to check that out and maybe get some more information at some point. There's a few times he was commenting on disembodied voices that I didn't hear.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't think we're supposed to hear it.
Maybe not.
But he heard it.
He heard it, and so it just didn't translate to the camera and the audio equipment, I think.
Yeah.
But they did go in with an awful lot of equipment to look at stuff, which was pretty good. They had cat balls, which seems to be everybody's new fave. Yeah. But nothing really happened with the cat balls. They had the typical K2 meters, a different EMF recorder that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
Night vision cameras. Everybody there had a camera on a selfie stick, so you know that there's going to be more videos out there than just the one we watched. But it was funny. At one point, he heard a voice behind him, he said, up on the third floor. And I don't know what the voice said because we couldn't hear it, but he went running down 3 flights of stairs in a panic.
Yeah.
He's lucky he didn't fall and break his neck.
On that note, he also, when he went back up there, he said sorry from running away.
Did he? I missed that. Okay, well that's good. I think he was quite respectful in his investigating.
Yeah.
Which I always like to see.
No smoking?
No. No, there was no smoking in this one. Everybody was there doing their thing, and, it was funny. He went down into the basement, and he said immediately, it felt
like
different.
Somebody was watching him.
Well, but I mean, I always think it's funny when they go, it feels different in the basement. Well, of course it does. It's a basement. And he said, it smells funny. Well, these old basements are going to be musty, and yes, so yeah, they are going to smell funny. But, I guess, depending on what he was expecting,
But he said smell perfume. So.
Yeah, I thought that's what I heard him say at one point. So, I mean,
but you
was there
gotta
perfume?
be on your toes for the English language, though.
Oh gosh, his accent was pretty thick.
Yeah.
Yeah. His accent was pretty thick. So back to the basement where he said he smelled the perfume. I wonder now if that was a residual smell of, it could have been herbs or something that was stored down there, rose petals or whatever. Yeah. This, like I said, at one point was a hospital, an old hospital where they used herbs like ginger. They talked about ginger. Yeah. And then it was also a boarding school. Now, I highly doubt, a boarding school would have a perfume type thing stored in the basement. But it could certainly have been flower petals and essential oil type things that were stored down there if that was used in the hospital. Yeah. Interesting. Then he said, well, actually he didn't say anything about this at the time, but I remember pointing out what I thought I saw was a shadow. Yeah. And I don't know if it was or not. It's hard to say because it didn't seem to move.
It looked like a shadow.
But it looked like the shadow of a person standing kind of like in a doorway. Yeah. Up where they couldn't go because there's no floor. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. And then later, 4 different people in that group all saw a shadow person. And the shadow person was in different places. Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. Yeah. I did like that the camera, like I said, the camera work was fairly smooth. Some spots the transitions were a little bit shaky. Like you could see the transition really clearly. And to me that's just this is not a professional production. Mm. But it was pretty well done. Yeah. I enjoyed it. What do you think?
I really like these guys, there's, no language. And, I'm not a big stuffy guy on language, but there was no smoking. And the respect.
They were treating it like a proper investigation.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked. Yeah. I mean, not everybody's going to go out and do the whole professional thing with the intro and the outro and, credits, which I love. But you can still do a decent investigation for YouTube, which is where we found this. Yeah, not everybody has that ability to make these big productions, but it doesn't negate from the fact that it was a pretty good investigation.
Yeah, it was.
I'm looking forward to watching a little more of this fella. So, I think we will. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next one that we found, and this, you know what? This one I think is probably one of my favorites that we've watched all month.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I quite like this one. Now, this is a couple of guys, and they call themselves the Ouija Brothers. So it's we thought it was Stu, but I think it's Steve, like Steven or Steve, and Griff. And it's actually fairly well. There was a splash page with their name. Yeah. And so it says Ouija Brothers, and it says, we had to end the investigation, a real paranormal encounter. Well, I think that's a bit overblown, but...
Yeah.
The first thing that comes up is, warning, this episode contains strong language. And it kind of does.
Yeah.
But at least they're letting you know that there's going to drop some F-bombs. That's pretty good. So yeah, I did enjoy the fact that they started off quite professionally, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So this particular episode, they're going back to a place where they've investigated in the past.
Yeah.
It is an abandoned, kind of like a farm, stables, I guess.
Stable.
And a house or a barn converted into housing. And the first thing they do is they walk through a building that they hadn't been to before, or they had been to before, because they thought they heard something, so they just wanted to check to make sure that there was nobody there. And they wandered all through this house, and no, there was nobody there.
The old mouse and stuff.
Just a mouse, yeah. A mouse and a moth or something, and it freaked out. Freaked out one of the bats, yeah. And then they go to the building that they wanted to investigate. And they've obviously been there before, because they're commenting on windows that weren't broken before are broken now. And, saying that the site's in still fairly good condition, hasn't had a lot of people there.
Power.
Yeah, there was electricity, and to me, I always worry about that, but it's not quite like the other place where we thought someone was still, we know somebody was living there because they locked themselves in the bathroom or something. Anyway, I do wonder if there were some squatters there. This was very close to the highway, so the transportation was close by. There was a gas bar not far. So someone could have been living there. There was a bicycle inside, the main kitchen kind of living room area, and it was pretty new. It was like a BMX kind of, well, not really. Yeah, mountain bike. Yeah, that's the word. And it was definitely in good condition, and it was good. And there were things there were some coats, there was a sweater hanging up, and they weren't dusty or dirty. And you'd think if this was abandoned, if they were abandoned and left there, they'd be kind of dusty. So that made me wonder. And they wandered through the house, and there's a bed upstairs with some bedding on it that's been pulled back and stuff. But again, it looked in pretty good condition. And I do wonder if someone was staying there, just not at this particular moment.
It's hard to say.
It is hard to say. It's just hard to say. I found the electricity interesting, that it would still be on and hadn't been turned off yet.
Yeah, but obviously there's nobody living there. So,
True. But why would somebody want to pay for electricity, when there's nobody living there? Anyway, so these two, actually, I was quite impressed with their investigation style.
Yeah.
They introduced themselves to whomever was there, which I thought was good.
And they also said this place is not known for being haunted.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, because they didn't know if it was haunted, they want to find out if it was. If they did have any spirits hanging around or not. They explained to any possible spirit how to use the devices to communicate. Which I thought, again, is pretty good.
Yeah.
Because that was my niggle once before, was you can't expect spirits to know what to do.
Yeah.
Don't call it a cat ball, because they might not know what a cat ball is, or don't ask something, make it light up. Make what light up? How do I do that? Yeah. So they explained how to get this, I think it was an EMF detector or a REM pod or something. Touch this, it'll turn green, it's okay, that kind of thing. And I liked that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
They did some investigating. They were there for several hours. They went outside a couple of times to kind of cleanse themselves. Yeah. Not necessarily because they were feeling bad energy, but because they said that it was kind of musty and not, the air wasn't very comfortable inside.
Yeah.
So that was good. I thought it was funny when that one guy kept saying that he had a bug crawling on him or buzzing in his ear or something.
Yeah.
He really doesn't like crawly things.
Yeah.
Doesn't like mice, doesn't like crickets, doesn't like moths. The moth was creeping him out. And there was something else. Didn't like bats. That was it.
Yeah.
Spiders, yeah. Yeah, he had a problem with everything creepy crawly. Which was kind of funny. The interaction between these two guys was fun.
Yeah.
But the investigation was quite respectful.
Yeah.
They didn't really find anything, and towards the end, this is an abandoned site. There's no trespassing signs and stuff around, but obviously they shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
Because police were coming along and they kind of ran through the field to get away before the police showed up. So I'm not over fond of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this sounded to me like almost like urban explorers more than paranormal investigators. They were just kind of exploring and then decided, oh, well, we'll just drop in an investigation while we're here. Yeah. I did like these fellas, though.
Yeah, I like them too.
And I do think I'd like to just watch another couple of episodes and see how good they are. Yeah. Or how, I'd like to see if that camaraderie that
stays,
that continues through other episodes. Sounds like they do this a lot. They go around to places all over England, they said. And I like that. We smashed that subscribe button so that we can find it again later and watch a few more episodes. And we'll be happy to share that with you again at a later date when we watch a few more. So the last couple have been good. We've been happy.
Yeah, we've had good luck.
We've had good luck, and we actually had some bad luck, too, because there was a couple that weren't so good. But this one I liked. I think this one was the best one of all of them. So,
well,
like I said,
I like the other guys, too.
Yeah, but I like this one better. I just liked the...
I would say it's a toss-up.
I liked this one for the investigators, the two guys. I liked the other one for the actual investigation. And that's why I'd like to watch another one with these guys to see if they're actually at a haunted site, how things would go. Yeah. Because this one, they clearly said, we don't know if it's haunted. There's been no reports. So they're just at an abandoned site and they're going to check it out. And I mean, who knows? Who knows if it was haunted? I mean, we don't know. We don't know. They don't know. They got chased off before they had a chance to find out. Yeah. But so I really like this. A couple of episodes that, we'll put the links below.
Didn't suck.
No, these ones did not suck. This one and Moxley did not suck, and we're happy to share them with you. Do go check them out. Let us know what you think. And that'll be good. Yeah. So there we go, another edition of Let's Talk Ghosts, and we actually might have had some ghosts this time. Yes. You saw some ghosts outside today?
Yeah.
You saw the old fella from next door? Mad as hell, you said?
Yeah, he was mad as hell, worried about his tools.
The house next door to us is being sold. His wife, after he passed, got remarried, and then her husband just passed away, so now she's going to sell the old house because she's living in a different house now. And the house had his like a shed full of all his guy stuff, guy stuff.
And he was screaming.
Yeah, so you're saying he was yelling, "Where's my stuff? What are you doing with my stuff?
Where's my stuff?"
Yeah. I never see him like you do. I'm glad because I'm guessing it's because I'm a woman, and he was kind of known to be a wife beater and a nasty man.
Oh, so he was a nasty guy.
Yeah. Nasty guy in life, nasty guy in death. So I think that's why I don't see him, is because I'm female. He doesn't want me to see him. Yeah. And that's okay with me. I see other stuff. I see your dad. Yeah. In the backseat of the car. Whenever the road conditions are bad, I see George's bald head in the backseat. Yeah, he keeps me safe. Anyway, that's a story for another day, but that's it for today. We hope you enjoyed our show.
Yes.
Come on back again next time and listen to another edition.
Don't forget to hit your subscribe button.
Absolutely. Subscribe on Spotify and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Yeah. Have a good one, folks.
Happy
Happy haunting. Bye now.